Hi, this is Mr. Guy, and we're going to be doing a GDP problem with the real numbers. We're also going to be doing a solution where there's actually 4 mathematical solutions. Now, I'm not going to go into detail in what you need to do in the actual solutions. You're going to have to give more details and more examples, and I'll go over that with you in the future. But this is just how the math works and how the formula works and how everything works for the economy. So I'm basically going to show you how to work through the math, and then you guys will have to figure out what you're going to be doing. So let's look through the GDP formula. We have got $18 trillion for GDP, and then C is $13 trillion even. I is $2.5 trillion, so this is I. G is $3 trillion, and NX is negative 500 billion, or 0.500 trillion. So that's our beginning GDP, and that's our beginning numbers that we've got. And then our goal is increase GDP 4%. So 4% times 18 trillion is $720 billion. So that is the $720 billion, and that's for the entire group. That's the entire 4 people person group that you have to do. Now, the easiest thing that I say is if there's 4 people in the group, divide that goal by 4 people. If there's 5 people in the group, divide it by 5. So I'm going to assume that there's 4 people and 4 solutions. So I divide the 720 billion by 4, and I get $180 billion per person. That's what they're responsible for, and that's what they have to figure out how much they're going to do their spending. So I'm basically going backwards. So I get my goal, then I come up to per person what's their goal, and then I figure out what is the multiplier and what is the tax multiplier, government spending multiplier, so I know exactly what I can spend for each solution. So here I've got some calculations. MPC is 0.80, so it's 0.80. MPS is 0.20. 1 minus MPC is MPS. So I come up with the formula 1 minus MPC, plug in all the numbers, 1 over 1 minus 0.80 equals 1 over 0.20, which equals 5. This is what we've been playing with all week long. And then MPC at 0.8, MPS at 0.2, divide those, that is 4. So this is my government spending multiplier. This is my tax multiplier, government spending multiplier, tax multiplier. So I'm doing that. So we're going to have 2 government spending increases. We're going to have a investment tax increase, and then we're going to have an actual tax cut. So here's what I'm doing. $180 billion equals 5x. Solve for x, it's $36 billion. So $180 billion divided by 5x equals 36 billion. This is what I can spend for G. So this is what I have for my group to spend for G, and this could be for roads, schools, NASA, for whatever I need to be. And then $180 billion divided by 4x gives me my tax cut. So this is my tax cut that I'm going to give people a tax cut so they can increase their spending. So this is my government spending multiplier. This is my tax cut multiplier. So I've got how much I'm going to be spending. I've got all the things that I need. So let's say I've got 4 people in my group. Here I've got 36 billion and 36 billion, so that's 2 people doing government spending. So 2 people are doing government spending. One might be doing education, one might be doing NASA, one might be doing whatever it might be, but they're spending 36 billion, 36 billion. So the multiplier is 5. So the difference between your 180, so $180 billion minus 36 billion is 144 billion. So notice these two. Those two go together. So the government spending of 36 billion each, and then the consumer spending increase of 144 billion each. So those two are my government spending. Then I have this. This is an investment tax credit. That is 36 billion also, and then that corresponds with this one. So that's 36 billion plus 144 billion. That gives to 180. So this plus this is 180. This plus this is 180. This plus this is 180. So far everything matches and everything equals. Then I have my tax cut. I'm doing a $45 billion tax cut. That goes straight into C, and this is for my consumer spending. That's my increase due to my taxes. So if I add everything up, if I add 144, 180, 144 billion, 144 billion, 36 billion, 36 billion, 36 billion, all of that equals totally $720 billion. And we match, we equal, the right side equals the left side. The 720 billion increase is 4%. This is 4%. And then I have my bottom formula. It is 18.72 trillion equals 13.612 trillion plus 2.86 trillion plus 3.72 trillion plus negative 0.5 trillion. So I've added everything up. This is not a negative. This just is a plus, and that goes with government spending. And then this is 36 billion plus, and that goes down here. And then all of these are added. And then they go in and they add up to $612 billion. So somebody might ask, how did I get the 144 billion? Well, basically I take 180 billion minus 36 billion equals the 144 billion. And that's how I get that total amount there. So that's what I get for that. So this is how we do the math. You have 4 different solutions, and it's all plugged in, and we can see it all equal. The right side equals the left side. I used the multipliers. I did the right amount. Now in your speech, you're going to have to tell me, what did you do with the 36 billion for government spending? What did you do with this? How many people did you hire? How many roads did you fix? How many bridges did you fix? How much did it cost for NASA? Here, what is your tax incentive? You have to give me details on what's your tax incentive. What are you putting into it? What are you doing? Now, the tax cut here, whose taxes are you cutting? Is it the rich, the middle class? What tax bracket? What are you doing with the different tax brackets, and what are you doing? So hopefully this makes sense. If you have any questions, please ask. We'll be doing this over in class. We're going to be using real numbers. We're going to be using the GDP numbers so we can get everybody's solutions together, so I can help everybody in class. And if you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to post. And thanks a lot, and have a good night. Bye-bye.